Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First, comedian Jim Gaffigan tries to smooth things over with Trump supporters, I think. Then President Biden is going to give a medal to Liz Cheney. Next, the Department of Justice spent $100 million to make schools safer by pushing DEI and restorative justice in classrooms. And finally, researchers are turning mosquitoes into flying syringes, delivering vaccines and nightmares equally. Let's dive in. Comedian Jim Gaffigan was recently interviewed by The Daily Beast, where he talked about his tweets from 2020, where he criticized Trump and his supporters, saying this: "I regret that people think that I was criticizing people that support Trump, and that was never the intention." Sure, Jim. And Alec Baldwin didn't mean to pull the trigger. It just happened. Gaffigan continued, "I regret someone said like, 'Now I can't follow you anymore,' and I kind of said, 'F you' to them." Gaffigan regrets telling fans who disagreed with him to F you. That's the kind of charm that makes you wonder why he doesn't have his own Hallmark movie. Let's look back at one of his tweets and see what we think. On August 27, 2020, Gaffigan tweeted this: "Look, Trumpers, I get it." Trumpers is always a term of endearment, isn't it? You already know right out of the gate that Gaffigan just loves people that support Trump. Okay, let's go back to this tweet. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen this thing. So Gaffigan tweeted this: "Look, Trumpers, I get it. As a kid, I was a Cubs fan, and I know you stick by your team no matter what. But he's a traitor and a con man who doesn't care about you. Deep down, you know it. I'm sure you enjoy pissing people off, but you know Trump is a liar and a criminal." Look, Gaffigan just said that Trump supporters like to piss people off and that they're delusional fans of a fascist, traitorous criminal. How can you say that's criticizing them? Gaffigan's big regret? Not that he said it, but that his followers took it personally. Shocking, right? People just can't take a good F you these days. President Biden is giving out 2 Presidential Citizens Medals, the second highest civilian honor next to the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And these 2 awards go to Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson. Cheney and Thompson led the January 6th congressional investigation, where they had the federal government pay for marketing for the DNC. I mean, you gotta give them some for that, right? Biden giving Cheney and Thompson medals is like a parent rewarding their kid for finishing a puzzle after throwing away all the pieces that didn't fit. Biden is even considering preemptive pardons for Cheney and Thompson, because nothing says you performed exemplary and honorable deeds of service like thinking they might go to prison for it. Biden is also giving a Presidential Citizens Medal to Hunter Biden for Best Laptop Disposal. The Department of Justice gave $100 million from the Stop School Violence program to proposals promoting woke content in school classrooms. Some of these proposals included promoting restorative justice practices, social and emotional learning practices, and DEI practices in the classroom. Remember, the first line of defense isn't a security guard, it's teaching kids to hate themselves. Here are a few examples of how this money for school safety was actually spent. The DOJ gave the Minnesota Department of Education $2 million to create safe learning environments where practices of anti-racism and anti-oppression are embedded. Because when a kid gets shoved in the hallway, what really matters is checking if the bully understands implicit bias. Bowling Green State University in Ohio received nearly $2 million to develop a mental health curriculum for students involving mindfulness meditation, yoga, and knitting circles. Hey, nothing diffuses tension like downward dog and a perfectly knitted scarf. And in California, hey, I'm expecting great things from California. Okay, in California, they granted $1 million to an organization called Reach Out West End with the goal of improving school safety by focusing on LGBTQIA+ issues. I mean, sure, the shooter's got a gun, but do we know what their pronouns are? To recap, The DOJ is focusing on social justice, yoga, and gender issues for school safety, because when the going gets tough, the tough start a knitting circle. Who had weaponized mosquitoes on their bingo card? Researchers funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have transformed mosquitoes into flying vaccinators. This is a new method to deliver malaria vaccines. Now, for those of you worried about consent, mosquitoes are better at securing informed consent than Congress. Researchers infected mosquitoes with genetically engineered parasites and allowed them to bite human test subjects in a controlled setting to inoculate them against malaria. You know, when it sounds like the opening scene of a post-apocalyptic disaster movie, you know it's a good idea. With these new mosquitoes, you won't need to find a clinic because those tiny pricks are everywhere. Kind of like Washington, D.C. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.